Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and I believe this is my week 11 of 2025 roundup. So today's March 15th, I believe. And I made a lot of progress last week. So I stitched a total of 9,259 stitches, which I think is quite a bit, especially for somebody that works full time. So I have no finishes, but like I said, lots of progress. So I have one new start. So let's start with that. The new start that the wheel picked for me for New Start Sunday was Count Your Blessings from Heartstring Samplery, which looks like this. And I did a conversion to make it much more Christmassy, because this is it's a song from the my favorite Christmas movie, which is White Christmas. And there's a song in there called Count Your Blessings instead of Sheep. Rosemary Clooney and Bing Crosby sing it. So I decided to switch up things to make it more Christmassy. And it's quite Christmassy. So this is my red fabric. This is just a 18 count Zweigart. I normally would do, I'm up in the air on whether I want to do 1/1 or 2/1 for 18 count. I opted to go for 2/1 on this one because I really wanted it to pop and stand out. So, and I'm loving my color choices so far. So, when I looked at this chart right here, right there, I believe that's a flower. My brain translated that to a music stand for whatever reason, which is why I made mine silver. And it wasn't until afterwards I'm like, I think that's supposed to be a flower. So that's actually a music stand for me that has some branches sticking off of it. That's fine. Guys, is this not great? I'm loving this red color. I want to stitch more on this red. I had bought this red thinking I would do an ornament on it for my youngest niece, Olivia, because that's her favorite color, and ended up not using it to make her an ornament. I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for, and I was like, this is perfect, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. So that was my new start. I got 1,173 stitches on that. All right, after that, I did the focus event through Whip Warriors, and that is where, I think it was 3 days, 2 or 3 days, no, might have been 3 or 4 days, where you pick one whip and you focus on that whip during that time period. You have to take a beginning picture, and then you put up a picture at the end with your total stitches. And Whip Warriors is a closed group currently. They opened in November, but it's so much fun. They have like a ton of different games. So like this week I worked on the focus event, the Beat the Mobman event, In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb, and categories all for Whip Warrior. So I'll let you guys know whenever that opens up, that group. But so for this one, this was for the focus event and for Beat the Mobman, because you're allowed to double up for those events. So I focused on Knight and Castle from Happy Mood Point. I can't find my picture, so I'm just going to put a picture up here. I said Happy Mood Point. I think this is Stitching Spell. And I've said this, I've been working on this for so long, and I have said this so many times, you would really think I would know at this point. I get those two mixed up all the time for some reason. In any case, I did 2,695 stitches on this. This is one of my favorite pieces. One of my oldest and one of my favorites. So, some fuzzies. This is, where I got this week. There we go. So my progress was the top, I'll bring it in to show you. My progress was, I did an additional 2 or 3 pages here. Like I added in this, I added in this portion of the border, brought everything all the way over, and then got this entire top portion done. I love it so much. I love the castle. I love my color choices. Favorite color combination. It's just, it's a relaxing stitch. There's literally nothing I don't like about it. All right, so that was my focus for this month, for the focus event. Okay, after that, I moved into my Monopoly stitching. So, I completed all of my Monopoly stitching this week, and I'm playing that with Jen the Caffeinated Crafter over, at Jen the Caffeinated Crafter. That's her channel name. So I chose a different whip for each property. I'm not going to tell you what the properties are. You can, if you want to see like what the calls are and stuff, you can go ahead and hop over to her channel and watch her game. But I'll tell you the projects that I got. So the first one I worked on was Shakespeare quotes. I had to do 300 stitches for Monopoly. Then I also used it for I Spy Something Gold. That's Laura over at Stitching by the Shore. It's her game that she does each month. And then, so that was 209 stitches I did for I Spy. And then for categories with Warriors, for the, I should say the letters this month are S and N. For the category of favorite, I went with Shakespeare. Not that Shakespeare's my favorite, but some of his quotes are my absolute favorite, and they happen to be on my Shakespeare quotes chart. So this is what the chart looks like. This is from Taylor and Cromwell. I am doing this on an 18 count black Aida from Zweigart. And so 709 total stitches added to this bad boy. And this is one I really would love to get done this year. My progress, I put in this quote over here. Oops. That quote over there, and then I started this one here. So, just making nice progress. All right, then my next Monopoly piece is from Lindy Stitches, and it is part of her endangered species. It was the Endangered Species Club. This was number 3. North Atlantic right whale, which looks like this. And she put a little bit about him on the back of this chart. Actually, I think it's a mama. We'll say her. Her and her baby. So we're gonna go ahead and learn about the North Atlantic right whale together, because I haven't read it yet. This whale is one of the world's most endangered whale species, with an estimated 356 individuals surviving. There are 3 types of right whales, also including the North Pacific and Southern. Right whales are baleen whales, using their bristly baleen plates to strain out tiny crustaceans from the ocean water. Right whales were named such because they were the right prey for whalers due to their docile nature, high blubber content, and ability to float after killed. These giants of the sea can weigh up to 140,000 pounds, reach 52 feet in length, and live up to 70 years. Their distinguishing features include their long, arching mouths that begin right under their eyes and their rough, white patches of keratinized skin, which provide habitats for a symbiotic relationship with whale lice. Right whales were commercially hunted to the brink of extinction by the 1890s. In 1937, this practice was banned worldwide, but the species has not recovered. Human interactions continue to threaten the whales, including ship strikes along major Atlantic ports and entanglements with fishing gear. NOAA Fisheries estimates that over 85% of right whales have been entangled with fishing gear at least once, and scientists think this not only injures or kills the whales, but also prevents the females from having multiple or more frequent calves. And then Steph also provided a quote from Elizabeth Gouge: "Nothing living should ever be treated with contempt. Whatever it is that lives, a man, a tree, or a bird, should be touched gently, because the time is short. Civilization is another word for respect for life." Beautiful. So again, this is what it looks like. I am using a partial conversion. This is being done on a 32 count Silver Moon linen by Weigart. And I got the kit. So the kit came with the fancy floss that was needed. And then I used some of the DMC it called for. Then I stashed up. No, not stashed up. I kitted up from stash for the rest. So this is where I am. Oops. There we go. Isn't it pretty? So I got 400 stitches for Monopoly, 200 stitches for categories for in or around water. And there's 3 things in this pattern for that. So there's starfish, what did I say? Starfish, seashell, and sand dollar. That's what it's called. So there's seafish, starfish, seafish. Oh, sand dollar, seashell, and starfish. And then 200 stitches for I Spy, shaped like a piece of pie. So for me, I figured these little things here, those are shaped like a piece of pie, the ends of the stars. So that's what I used for that. So a total of 821 stitches for the North Atlantic right whale. Then I pulled out Morbid Curiosities from the Stitch Crypt, and I did 400 stitches for Monopoly. Put a picture up here because I don't have one printed out of the complete project. This was a stitch along from 2023. I don't know how anybody ever kept up with it. I gotta tell you, this cabinet is taking forever. I am not into anything fun, and I'm nowhere close to being done with this cabinet yet. I gotta tell you. I am doing this on an 18 count Mystic from Picture This Plus, and I am doing 2/1. And that's how far I am right now. So what I worked on was filling in those brown colors. That's where my stitches went. And I mean, it's really pretty. I'm doing a conversion to stash again. It's just, gosh, it's taking so long. So yeah, just the 400 for Monopoly for that one. All right, then I pull out my temperature bookshelf. This was one that I owed stitches on because it had been called for the previous, had landed on for the previous 2 weeks of Monopoly, and I hadn't gotten to it. So for this one, it was 400 stitches for Monopoly, 200 stitches for categories. The category was man-made, so I picked shelves. And then for I Spy, something you would see in a Dr. Seuss book, and there's a cat in this pattern. So this is a temperature stitch along. Whatever year I finish, hopefully I'm going to finish this bookshelf this year. So if I finish it this year, then I will actually stitch the temperatures for the following year. So I would do 2026 for the temperatures. So this is what it looks like. This is from Grandma B. Wilden for gothstitch.com. I'm doing a conversion to stash, and I'm doing it on a scrap piece of Picture This Plus. So total of 800 stitches for this week. This is another one that's taking me way longer than I ever thought it would. There's just a lot of stitches in this. So yeah, there's my cat at the bottom. There's another, at least one more cat in here. Possibly 2 more. I think just 1. But so what I worked on was I added in, I think, let's see, from here up, and then I filled in all of, I had some of the purple filled in here. I didn't have any of the purple filled in these parts, so I finished that for the purple and filled in the handles. So yeah, slow but sure. Then I had another 100 I needed to do for Monopoly. This is Deb Calkin, Atworth School, 1806. Deborah Calkin, 1806, Atworth School. This was from her sampler box. This is from Stitchy Samplers. Oh my God, I can't talk. Stitchy Box Samplers. This was their sampler box in 2023. And I am doing a conversion to stash and changing things up a bit. So I am doing this on 16 count Dusk Ada from Picture This Plus. This is one that I am rolling. Each of my flosses is assigned to a number 1 through 8, and I'm rolling my D8 to figure out what I'm stitching where. Now, I only needed to do 100 stitches for Monopoly, but this is one where I really like to complete an element when I pick this up. So I completed an element. So here's where I am, and my progress this time, I put in that quicker right there. And I adore this stitch. I am personalizing it to be a piece for Brian and I. So where it says a token of love, the 1996 is the year that we met. I'm not rolling for the like personalized stuff I'm doing. So there's a couple I'm putting in our last name where there's the dates. That's all going to be this purple color. And then the letters are all, what color is this? I want to call it candy corn, but I don't know if that's actually what it's called or not. Night Stalker Calling. It is. It's candy corn. Night Stalker Calling's Candy Corn is what I'm doing all the letters in. The letters are supposed to be 1/1 on linen, but I mixed up my fabric when I got it. This should have been a linen, and I put an Ada with it, and so it's too late now. It is what it is. It's fine. I'm making it work. All right, then so that was it for my Monopoly stitching. Then for the In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb event on Whip Warriors, it is a focus on your full coverage and try and get 1,000 stitches on each of your full coverage. So this was my second full coverage that I was working on, and I realized when I went to post my picture for my progress on this, I realized for this particular event, you're supposed to use a code word. And I totally forgot to put the code word onto my picture for the first one. So I wasn't going to do another 1,000 stitches just so that I could post it. I know for sure I got my 3 threads that I need for this month. So this is Lost No More. So I did 1,000 stitches for the Lion and Lamb. I did 200 stitches for I Spy for starts with the first letter of middle name. This is Lost No More. My middle name is Lynn, so L. And then for categories, the category animal, there's a sheep in this picture. So I'm putting the picture up here so you can see what it looks like. Total of 1,454 stitches. Because I did another 54 just because. So here is where we got. So I put in all of this green and brown is all new. I think I'm happy with that progress. Yeah. So this one has some half stitches. This is a mix of half and full crosses. It was an old Dimensions Gold kit. I just have the chart. Doing this on a piece of 18 count white Ada from Zweigart. All right, then to finish out the week, I hadn't done any of my Whip Go yet for this month. So the first number called for Whip Go was my chart is the Lord's Prayer from Leela's Studio. And my goal is to get 500 stitches on here. I am doing this mostly as charted with the Avaswas. A couple of stuff from Stash because they didn't have all of the Avaswa that I needed and I wanted to start it. So I just pulled some stuff from Stash. So 514 stitches total. I have a hard time doing just the amount. I have to like finish a thread or finish a section or something like that. So here is my progress. Oh, the color is showing up perfect today. Parfait, is that what this is called? No, confetti. 18 count confetti from Picture This Plus. Is that not a great fabric? Yeah, love it. So my progress is up here. I started this part and then the words is what I worked on this time. I just love Leela's Studio. I need to get her new, she just put out the winter winter sampler, is that what it's called? I have the spring and the summer. No, what do I have going? I have spring. Wait, let me think. I have autumn going. I think I also have spring and summer, so I need to get the winter one. Pretty sure I have both of those. But I'm waiting for Millennial Fabric to get that in before I order it. All right, so 514 stitches on that. So that is all my progress this week. For plans. So my wheel spun Owl Forest embroidery this time for my new start tomorrow, my new start Sunday. And that was number 36. And I am so excited because this is I have several Owl Forest on the go. I splurged and I got the kit this time. And I'm trying to find a picture. So this is going to be my first time working with Owl Forest threads. I don't think there's a picture in here of what it actually looks like. So I'll put a picture. I'm not even sure what it's called. It's the bee one. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me check. I do know what this is called. Golden Bees by Owl Forest Embroidery. So it came with the fabric, and from what I understand, the fabric can be cutting it close. So I'm gonna have to do a middle start, which I don't usually love to do. It also came with a needle and a needle minder. Not cute. Which I've been saving to use with this. And then look at the beautiful floss. And I have heard such amazing things about Owl Forest and their flosses, so I'm super excited to use them. That's my new start. I have one more Whip Go to work on, and so the second call for the month was my Christmas Quaker. So my goal is to get an additional 500 stitches on that. I will keep working on Categories and I Spy, and I think for the a lot of this week though, I believe I'm going to do my random rules on my wheel to touch additional whips that I haven't touched yet so far. Then a reminder that my birthday is April 18th. And so for the month of April, I'm going to have an Alice in Wonderland sale. Stitch anything Alice, because I love Alice. Alice is my favorite. So we're going to use hashtag Wonderland Stitch Sal. I'll put that down below in the description as well. I already have my chart picked out. I'm going to start on my birthday, but my plan for April is to start all of the Alice charts that I have that I plan on stitching. And I say that because I have a couple of full coverages that are like paid full coverages that I don't think I'm going to stitch. So for the month of April, stitch along, stitch anything Alice in Wonderland. I would love to stitch together. And if you are going to participate, let me know what chart you plan on working on down below. I think for April 1st, I'm going to do an Alice in Wonderland, a FlossTube extra that's all focused on Alice in Wonderland. So the charts that I have, what I plan on starting, what I finished that's Alice, what I currently have going, all that stuff. So that's my plans. My haul for this week. So my Fox and Rabbit Fabric of the Month came in. I'm in Garon Stitcheries, 18 count fabric of the month for Fox and Rabbit. This month is paper bark. And that is what it looks like, a nice, beautiful, neutral that I'll be able to use with lots of stuff. And then I'm also in Millennial Fabrics. I'm in their Gentle Arts club each month. And so I get 5 of the floss from their line each month. This is this month's. Those pretty. I think those are all super pretty. Those are very accurate colors too. So we've got Island Blue, Mint Jubilee. No, yeah, that's the color there. Cherry Bark, Shutter Green, and Bittersweet. So 5 more to add to my collection. And then I told you guys last week about that great deal that I found for the Charles Craft Monaco 28 count pack of 12 from on Amazon for 60 bucks. So that came in. It is 20 by 24. So very nice size. But this is what I plan on doing all of my Mrs. Pagodi Arts pieces on. The other piece of my haul, wanted to let everybody know Mrs. Pagodi Art, they tend to have sales over on Etsy for Mrs. Pagodi Arts. And so I've been keeping an eye out. I've been checking every day because there's 2 charts I knew I wanted to get so I could start in April. So today, 25% off. They went on sale. So I got the Cheshire Cat. I'll put the pictures up here because they were digital. So Cheshire Cat, and I got her Mad Hatter. So I plan on starting both of those in April on my Monica. And this is bigger than I anticipated. I think I might be able to get 2 on here. We shall see. So that's it for haul. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that my Nashville order will be in this week. Sarah said that, Sarah from Millennial Fabrics is my favorite store. And I found out that Sarah has a floss tube that she had been working on a while ago. So her floss tube, I had looked before. I just didn't know it wasn't called Millennial Fabrics. Her floss tube is Millennial Stitchers. So I am going to tag that down below. I happen to know that she is going to be putting out a new floss tube soon. So follow her so you can get alerted to when she has a new floss tube come out. So anyway, Millennial Fabrics, favorite store. That's who I did all of my Nashville pre-orders through. And Sarah's just killing me. There was a live last night with more stuff from Nashville. And then there's another live tonight with more patterns. But those are going to be shipping separately from the stuff that we already got. So I know I've paid for everything in my Nashville invoice at this point, and she said Nate was going to be shipping them out this weekend. Nate is her husband. So fingers crossed I'm going to get that this week. And if it comes this week, I'm going to be doing a FlossTube Extra with my Nashville haul, and it's going to be a we listen and we don't judge FlossTube because I got a few things. All right. So that's all for stitching. But I did I finally finished my first book of 2025. Round of applause for myself. At this point, I've normally read at least 20 books. I'm just in a reading slump. What can I say? So I finished Onyx Storm from Rebecca Yarros. That is book 3 from the Empyrean series. It is a series about dragons, a war college, dragons. It's adult fantasy, fantasy. I guess it's romantasy. I enjoy the series a lot. I don't read too much into it because if I read too much into it, there's a lot of holes. Okay. But the story itself is so much fun. And I love the characters. I love the dragons so much. It had been a long time since I read a really good dragon book. So this was book 3. I'll be honest, I did tear up a bit. I had to wipe my eyes a few times. I'm not going to give any details because obviously this is book 3. I don't want to spoil anything. But if you want to read an entertaining adult fantasy book about dragons, I recommend reading it. So, finished that. Then I also finished This Is Why You Dream by Rahul Jandil. And he is a neuropsychologist. I can't remember if he's a neurologist or a neuropsychologist who does a lot about dream theory and stuff. It was a good book. I didn't agree with everything he said in there, only because he states a lot of stuff is fact in there, but it doesn't apply to me. My experience is not that with certain things he talked about. So it was good. It was enjoyable. I took stuff from it. If you are into dreaming, I would recommend listening to it. Yeah, nonfiction. So 2 books down for 2025. What I am currently watching / listening to. So I started listening to the Cold podcast, season 1 I'm listening to, which it follows the Susan Powell case. It's like 4 years old. There's 3 seasons. I'm on like episode 10, I think, of season 1, and I am enjoying it quite a bit. And then I'm also listening to Adelaide Haunts, not listening to. So they are paranormal investigators from Australia, and they go all over, like Australia, United Kingdom. They come to the United States. They go all over and they do paranormal investigations. I actually don't watch the paranormal investigation part, but at the beginning of each paranormal investigation, there's like a tour of where they're investigating, and a person gives like the history behind the place that they're investigating. It's usually about like 15 to 20 minutes, that piece. And so that's what I watch. I watch everyone to hear that. And then Grim Life Collective, he's so it's a husband and wife. The husband's actually originally from Pittsburgh. Not how I found him, but they do a lot. They like go all over. They don't do investigations, but they go and do a lot with like the history of horror genre, haunted places. They go abroad a lot. Like right now they're in Ireland, and so I've been watching everything that they've been releasing about their time, not in Ireland, Italy. They're in Italy. I've been watching everything that they've been releasing from Italy. But it's husband and wife, and I just think it's a fantastic, it's one of those that I went back and I like rewatched all of them from the beginning because it's so entertaining. They've been around for like 8 years, so it's a lot of watching. Started watching a long time ago, but they, like I said, they're currently in Italy, so I would recommend watching that one as well. I believe that's it. All right, this is another one that was not ridiculously long. So, all right, guys, I will maybe see you later this week if my Nashville order comes in. Otherwise, I will catch up with you guys next Sunday. Bye.